So, good afternoon and all. A warm welcome to all of you, and thank you for taking your time in joining this today's webinar. So, here myself, Arun, and Mr. Kadirvel have joined this session. So, myself, I'm taking care of technical team over here, and Mr. Kadirvel, who is the DriveWorks specialist, who will be taking you through the live technical presentation. So today's session is designed to show you how engineering automation can fundamentally change the way the organization design, sells and manufacture the products. Manufacturing companies today are under tremendous pressure, right? Customers expect highly customized products. They expect quotations within hours instead of days. Design teams are expected to deliver more projects without increasing the manpower. At the same time, companies must reduce engineering errors, improve their quality, and shorten delivery time. Many organizations are still relying on the repetitive manual design work, copying their old CAD models, modifying their drawings, updating bill of materials manually, and creating quotations using spreadsheets and Excels. These activities consume valuable engineering time but add very little innovation. Imagine if your engineers could spend their time solving engineering problems instead of repeatedly creating the similar designs. That's exactly where DriveWorks comes into the picture. DriveWorks is an engineering automation and configure price code (CPQ) solution that works seamlessly with SOLIDWORks. It enables companies to automate repetitive engineering tasks, generate custom CAD models instantly, create manufacturing documents automatically, and even produce accurate customer quotations all within minutes, not taking much time. Instead of redesigning similar products again and again, DriveWorks allows us to capture the engineering knowledge once and reuse it forever. Today's webinar is not about replacing the engineers, but whereas it's about empowering the engineers to become more productive, more innovative, and more valuable to the business. Throughout the session, we will be demonstrating how companies around the world are reducing their design time by 80 to 90%, accelerating the quotation turnaround from days to minutes, minimizing costly engineering errors, and improving customer satisfaction through faster response times. We will also walk through a practical manufacturing examples so that we can clearly understand how DriveWorks fits into your existing engineering workflow from customer inquiry all to the manufacturing. By the end of this today's session, we will understand why engineering automation has become a competitive necessity, how DriveWorks integrates with the existing SOLIDWORKS environment, and how CPQ module helps sales and the engineers work together seamlessly. How automated drawings, bill of materials, quotations, and the manufacturing documents are generated, and most importantly, how the organization can achieve faster delivery, higher productivity, and greater profitability without increasing any engineering resources. So let's begin our journey towards transforming the engineering process into a smarter, faster, and more automated workflow using DriveWorks. In today's session, we will be briefly cover the key engineering challenges manufacturers face and how DriveWorks helps overcome them through intelligent design automation. We will introduce DriveWorks, explore why leading companies choose DriveWorks and understand how it works, and look at the benefits of its CPQ module, configure, price and code capabilities. And also we will discuss the ROI and business benefits, which is the key important of management, followed by a live demonstration to see the software in action. Finally, we will conclude with the Q&A session to answer all your questions. Let's begin by looking at the current engineering challenges. Let's first understand the common challenges that many manufacturing companies face today when the design automation is not in place. Slow response to the customer inquiries. This is the first and major problem of any company. Preparing designs and quotations takes too much of time, causing delays and missed opportunities. Then the repetitive engineering work. Engineers always repeatedly perform the same design tasks instead of focusing on the innovation. Then high risk of human errors. Manual work can lead to design mistakes, incorrect drawings, and production issues. Then manual creation of bill of material. Creating bill of materials manually is slow and can result in missing and incorrect parts. And finally comes in the lack of standardization. Different engineers follow different methods, leading to inconsistent designs and demonstration. These challenges reduce productivity, increase costs, and slow business growth. In the next slide, we will see how DriveWorks solves these problems. What is DriveWorks? DriveWorks is an intelligent design automation platform that works directly inside SolidWorks. It helps companies automate repetitive engineering and sales tasks, allowing the engineers to focus on innovation instead of doing the repetitive work. Instead of manually creating every new product variation, DriveWorks uses a predefined design rules and customer inputs to automatically generate everything required for manufacturing and sales. With a single input, DriveWorks can automatically create 3D CAD models based on the customer requirements, full assemblies with all corrected components, then the 2D manufacturing drawing, which is ready for the production, bill of materials with accurate part information, and finally the manufacturing and sales documents such as data sheets and specifications, and a professional quotation with pricing and product details, and finally multiple product configuration without redesigning it from the scratch. Why companies choose DriveWorks? The first and biggest benefit is reducing engineering time. Instead of engineers repeatedly creating similar models, drawings, and documents, DriveWorks will automate these tasks by allowing engineers to focus on innovation and solving complex engineering challenges. Secondly, it helps improve quality. Since every design follows a predefined engineering rules and standards, the chances of manual mistakes are significantly reduced, resulting in more accurate designs and documentation. Another major advantage is increased standardization. Every quotation, CAD model, drawing, bill of material, and manufacturing document is generated using the same company approved standards, ensuring consistency across the projects. DriveWorks also enables organization to deliver products faster. Automated design generation and document creation reduce the time from customer inquiry to manufacturing, helps companies respond quickly and meeting the tight deadlines. As business grows, DriveWorks allows them to scale without increasing engineering headcount. Existing engineers can handle many more projects because repetitive work is automated, improves the productivity without adding any additional resources. All these benefits lead to a higher profitability of winning more orders. Customers receive faster quotation, quickly design proposals, and consistent quality, giving the company a competitive advantage and increasing customer confidence. In other terms, DriveWorks helps the companies work smarter, deliver faster, and grow profitably without proportionally increasing the engineering effort. Now let's see how DriveWorks works. It starts with the flowchart has been introduced over here. It starts with the customer requirements. It starts with client's actual need. What would be the actual need of a customer requirement? It's a specific configuration or a size or a capacity or feature set for the product they want. Then comes the sales configuration. The sales team enters the information that needs into DriveWorks, the configuration interface, so that no CAD knowledge is required. Then the DriveWorks rules comes in. Behind the scenes, the rule engine translates those inputs into engineering logic and makes valid combinations, constraints, and calculated the dimensions. Then the SolidWorks automation takes place. DriveWorks drives the SolidWorks directly, automatically building the 3D model to match the rules which we have created, and there will be no manual modeling. Next comes the drawing generation. 2D manufacturing drawings are generated straight from the model, fully dimensioned and ready for the shop floor. Next comes the bill of material generation. Bill of material is compiled at the same time, listing every part and quantity needed for that specific configuration. Finally, the quotation. With the model generated, drawings and the bill of materials in hand, an accurate price and lead time can be quoted almost instantly. Then finally it comes into production. Once approved, the same data package feeds directly into manufacturing. No re-entry, no translation errors. The entire chain from the customer's requirement to the production ready package happens in minutes instead of days, because DriveWorks removes the manual and repetitive engineering work at every handoff. We introduce one more module in DriveWorks called the CPQ module. That's called Configure Price Quote. It streamlines the entire journey from the customer inquiry to the manufacturing. Instead of relying on manual product configuration, pricing, quoting, and engineering, the software will automate each step through a single rule-based platform. Sales team can configure products confidently using guided options, while DriveWorks ensures only valid combinations are selected. Pricing is calculated automatically based on predefined business rules, including materials, accessories, discounts, and taxes, resulting in fast and accurate quotation. Once the customer approves the quotation, DriveWorks automatically generates all the required engineering deliverables, including SOLIDWORKS parts, assemblies, drawing, bill of material, any DXFs, PDFs, and other manufacturing documents. This would eliminate the repetitive CAD work. It reduces the engineering effort and ensures consistent production data. The result is faster sales time, improved customer satisfaction, reduced engineering workload, fewer errors, and a seamless transition from sales to manufacturing. DriveWorks enables manufacturers to sell customized products more efficiently while improving the productivity, quality, and profitability. And for the management, ROI is the major concern. And what are the business benefits of using DriveWorks? The true value of DriveWorks extends beyond design automation. It delivers measurable business outcomes across the entire organization. From a sales perspective, teams can respond to customer inquiries significantly faster by generating accurate quotations in minutes rather than in days. Faster response times improve the customer satisfaction and increase the chance of winning new business. Engineering teams benefit by eliminating repetitive CAD modeling and documentation. Instead of recreating similar designs, engineer can focus on product innovation and solving complex design challenges, which leads to substantially productivity gain. Manufacturing receives consistent production-ready output such as bill of material, drawing, DXF, and other documents automatically generated from the same product configuration. This would reduce the manual errors, minimizes the rework, and improves the production efficiency. From the management perspective, DriveWorks enables business growth without requiring a proportional increase in engineering resources. Standardized process, improved quality, reduced lead time, and faster order fulfillment contribute to higher profitability and a stronger return on investment. In summary, DriveWorks will help the organization sell faster, engineer smarter, manufacture efficiently, and grow profitably, making it a strategic investment for companies producing configurable products. Now, let's have a live technical presentation on DriveWorks, how it would automate the product and how it would give a automated quotation to the company. So now let me invite Mr. Kadrivel to give a live presentation on DriveWorks Express. DriveWorks.
Thank you, sir, for the detailed overview of DriveWorks product. So now I will take you through the steps on how DriveWorks works and what it will cover and how it can be used to achieve the desired output. So first, before going into the presentation, we will see what we are going to cover in the session. The main thing is the problem. So what would be the problem? It could be a repetitive task or quoting doesn't scale the product. The second is core capabilities. What is the core capability that can be helped to achieve this result? And the third is the deployment model. It comes with how it is either a desktop product or it's an autopilot product, or how this can be accessed by different person. And the fourth is ecosystem fit. It does like how it can be integrated with SolidWorks, 3D Experience, or any other product. And then finally, the business impact, like how it can be used to improve the ROI. So the first thing is like why engineering doesn't scale with manual repetition. Like we have multiple configurable product like enclosures, machineries, sheet metal assemblies, which can force the same design. So what would be the result of that? It could produce a slow turnaround time, that is reworking the same model again and again, and manually entry of the data, which is costly, and always depending on the senior design engineers to work on or to get the process from them. And finally, the inconsistent code. It always goes with the sales team, like delay in getting the correct feasibility from the design team to get the send the code. So how can this be addressed? So for finding it, before going into that, we'll see what DriveWorks is. I think Mr. Arun sir has already given a detailed explanation of what this DriveWorks is. So to put it simply, I'll just categorize this complex layer into three major aspects which we are going to see in today. First it is a design automation for SolidWorks, which works exclusively inside the SolidWorks for all part assembly and drawings. It's a gold certified product which can convert your whatever your rules are there, that can be directly converted from rules to the results. And the second is that the configure price code, as we have already seen, it's an intelligent rules-based guided selling connects sales and manufacturing. It can ensure sales teams and dealers and the customer even can configure it directly to get the ideal solution every time. And the next concept is that beyond design, the DriveWorks doesn't stop with only the design product. Like it doesn't stop with creating a part model assembly or automating the drawing. There are always some components of the business which are not at all connected. The DriveWorks can help take the design data from different teams across organization. It can bring together into one centralized system. Either the data could be ERP or a PLM, or it could be an Oracle or SQL database. Whatever the data are there, it can directly interlink that data into your 3D modeling environment, which we will be seeing in the upcoming session. So, and we have seen what it can do. Now we'll see how it can be done. So the first thing is like, what are the steps to automate a design? So every step automation needs an input that has to be captured. For instance, it could be it could be a documented process, or it could be rules that you follow, or it could be a input from a senior resource who has every access to the data or who knows how the data works. So the first concept is to capture the parameter, and the second is to build the UI. The UI plays a major role wherein we can convert your ideology into a representation wherein you can use it for anyone, anywhere. And the third is creating a rule. So rules plays a major role. Like we have a data and we have to define how it works and how it should not work. That can be controlled by using rules. And finally, you can configure and automate the process. So let me take you through the detailed steps for the same. The first is to capture the design. So the capturing a design plays a major role in controlling the design intent. It needs a rule-based company's intent, like we have discussed. It needs a documented process or a rule. It could be how the codes are created, how your BOM is managed across the organization, or how the component changes, or how it has to work, and the detailed workflow what the organization is following. The first primary option is to collect this data so that we can convert this data into a representation which can easily accessible by everyone. Let me take you through a quick example. For instance, or to the left you can see a conveyor, and to the right you can see the UI, which is directly linked onto your SolidWorks. Therein you have length, width, and height, and also it has an elevated side rails as an option to select. So what we are going to do is we are going to enter the values for the length, width, and height, and we are going to specify whether it is the elevated rails is needed or not. So I'll just take you through how it can be done in SolidWorks. The first, you can see like this is your familiar environment. I hope you are all of you are familiar with the SolidWorks. The first thing is DriveWorks creates 3D models by using SolidWorks. Like it is an mandatory product. So over here you have assembly structures for detail, like how the assembly is there, like what parts are there created, and how I'm going to automate it. So first I'm going to select the side rail for it. Inside the side rail, I'm going to capture the overall length of the side rail. So I can just select the product, DriveWorks automatically captures its dimension. I can specify any annotation or any easily identifiable terms. For here, I'm specifying side rail length, and you can just add the product. DriveWorks automatically captures it. So you can save the product, so save the values. So DriveWorks takes this value into its record. So next I'm gonna open the frame, roller frame. Inside the roller frame, I'm going to capture the overall frame length. So you can directly select the frame length in the SOLIDWORKS UI. It takes the value into it. I can just click add and I can save the model. And it doesn't stops with only capturing the dimension. You can also capture any features that is created. For instance, here I'm going to capture the side rail mount, because if I don't want the side rail mount to be there, I can just skip by capturing the data here. So and you can also capture not only the design data, you can capture any inbuilt data that have feature holes, and also the custom properties data, like what would be for here it has a description and color. I can also enter and capture them as many variables as needed. Like it could be a material, it could be a person who has created it or who is going to approve it. So everything can be captured from your SOLIDWORKS model itself. And over here I am capturing the drawing color for this product. So once it select the model and it takes into it, I am just saving the model, and now I'm moving on to the roller part. Inside the roller part, earlier I was only capturing the design data. Now I can also include file format. For instance, whenever if I were to create a 3D model, and if not only the drawings needs to be created, it also needs the additional format, like it could be a DXF or DWG files, or it could be any step files or IGS files that has to be created and stored onto a destinated folders. So here we have an option called to select the file format, and inside the file format of the specified file, I can specify whether it has to be created or not, and whether it goes with the defined rules that we have already selected. With this, you can capture overall data that is there from the 3D model, which can be used to automate in the next steps. And we have captured the all model information and the metadata files from the 3D models, and now we are gonna incorporate the whatever data that we have captured onto a easily accessible forms. This forms, it is a custom UI, and it can control the availability based on the other selection as well. Either over here you can see like it has a job number, it has a pump type and motor type, which is defined as a list, which can be interlinked and controlled. And over to the right, you have the specification table and you have the part number columns, which is also customizable. And it can also control the user interface of it. For instance, you can see here, you have three options here. It could be either it could be a customer, or it can be a sales representative inside your organization, or it could be an engineering team. What you can do is the forms can vary depending upon who the user is, or by using a controlled login access. So it creates a secure environment. You can give access to who the data has to be accessed by. And the other main advantage is like onboarding a new salesperson. So this unlocks the potential of new salesperson sooner with an easily be usable configurator. So they can directly take this onto a customer place. They can enter the value in front of the customer, and they can get the desired output. And the advantage, we have already seen what it will work. The main thing here I like to reiterate is this DriveWorks performs task and gets desired output only at the speed of your hardware, not with the speed of your internet or the external servers. Since it works on your hardware, the DriveWorks fully depends on the speed of the hardware, so the size and performance differs. And it doesn't stop with only creating models. Like, it can automate anything and anywhere. And the CPQ module that we will be seeing in the next can show you how the data can be accessed by multiple persons as well. So this we have already seen a glimpse like what it is. The main advantage of CPQ is it is not limited to your organization. It can be accessed by any person and anywhere at any time. The control can be controlled by using a designated login. It could be a mobile device, or it could be a tablet, or it could be a desktop or a laptop. The user or your marketing person can access the data, and he can build a complete configured price code solutions that can create automatic document and data for the manufacturing process. Let me take you through a quick example of how the configurator, that is online configurator, works. So you can directly go on to your browser, and anytime you can just type driveworkslive.com. The driveworkslive.com by default has a pre-configured data, and for your information, that the whole website over here is created by using DriveWorks team. Every text, every formats, every videos that is embedded over here, this whole website has been created by using DriveWorks. And over here you can see like direct configurable contents are available there. For instance, over here you have a pump file, and by default it shows you what the price would be, and you have multiple configurable options over here. For instance, either a pump type could be a ISO pump, or an pump motor type can be there. Once if I were to change the model, by default the price over here automatically changes. The same way, it consists of industry specific configured product suitable for any industries that can be easily adopted. You can directly go on to your driveworkslive.com from any browser. If you are accessible to a browser now, you can directly check onto it. So over here you can see like for all industries we have a pre-configured data that are ready to use, and you can also get a glimpse of how it works. The other is the online configurable tool. This is how it will be accessed by your marketing team, or it could be a customer who is trying to access the file which is configured. This can be done in two ways. Like, one is like it can be configured on your host server, which will be sitting on your premises, and the second thing could be on cloud. So over here you can see like this is a full configured live product which is there hosted on the website, which can be hosted in a similar way to your company. You can customize everything over here. Custom means fully customizable. All the forms to the left side, and all the user interface, 3D modeling software, the logo on the top, everything can be customized by using a DriveWorks. Over here, once you go and get inside the product, you can see onto the left you have a forms wherein you can specify. You have the lift height. If you adjust the height, it automatically changes in your UI. You can change the platform width, you can change the height. This is a predefined value which we have already given there. And the second option is here this scissor lift is categorized based upon the load, how much load it can withstand. Or here you can specify it, whether you need 150 kgs, 300 kgs, or whatever the kilograms that is needed. By default, it updates to the value which you are going to select onto the form. The third is you can control the bed type, like whether it is a rotating bed type has to be there, a roller bed type has to be there, or a flat type, which works or which can be created in a similar way depending upon your rules or how your organization needs. The next thing is you can customize and configure the colors, and it gives an interactive live one. And the final is to create a product code or an like quotation number. This product code, it defaults by automatically selects by taking the value from the height or the overall width we are specifying, or the color code you have specified, or the roller type or bed type which you have specified. This can be configured based upon your company's requirement. And once I have configured all the values over here, so we have input the bed type. Now what we can do is the customers or the marketing team, they can directly click view BOM button at the lower bottom, wherein you can access and see the overall BOM of these SolidWorks components that you have specified onto your interactive UI form. It doesn't stop with the BOM. You can customize it, like what would be the length of it, what is the name of the component that is going to appear on your BOM, and every logos, every details on this form, it is fully customizable. So, and it's not only with the BOM, we can also click the code, and if you were to select the code, it calculates the code based upon the input which you have selected on the form, user form, with which it gives you a detailed quotation value, what would be the estimated price of the component. And you can, the customers or your marketing team, they can directly generate it, and you can digitally sign the documents, and you can access it. And you can also, at the lower bottom, you can also see the overall, what is the overall price once you enter the value for it. So by using a DriveWorks, this entire scenario, it has been created and configured online, and you have an option called option to specify who would be your customer and customer name. Once if I select customer name, I can define who's my contact on their customer name, and it defaults takes the address. Once I check the values, and if I were to click submit, it takes to a default form wherein I can give my username and the contact info there. This is we have only configured for mail ID and info. You can configure based upon the quotation or quotation number and what the customer requirement is there. That can be customized, fully customized based upon your company needs. So once I enter the value, and if I were to submit for code generation, by default, the DriveWorks runs a module behind, and it starts to generate the models which you have defined as a rules. It could be a PDF document, it could be a part document or an assembly document, or it could be a code or BOM. So whatever the document which you have selected, it can also be a DXF file or an e-drawing file. So it starts to generate the documents which you have specified in the rules for this model. So it takes a bit of time, and once if all the models are generated, by default, the mail which you have given at the time of code generation, it sends all the documents by default to the email ID. Over here you can see it gives you a detailed PDF file of a SolidWorks document which the customer has entered during code preparation, and it also gives you a e-drawing file which is configured based upon the user forms, and it gives you a BOM of the component, and it can also give you a overall quotation, that is overall price, how it for what you are selected. But this can be accessed by even that it can be given as a access to your sales team or marketing team, or it can also be shared on your hosted on your website, so that your customers can directly enter the values and get the codes required. And the integration part, as we have discussed, it not only limits to the 3D modeling and design concept, it can be integrated with any PLM and CAD ecosystems. It could be a SolidWorks 3D experience or your existing ERP system, or it could be also embedded to your e-commerce or your company's web portal so that your customers can directly access the files. And beyond the models, and by using CPQ, it is not only limited to the SolidWorks interface. If you are not an SolidWorks user and if you wanted to customize only the document workflow, only the bill of material which you have as a metadata, and only you wanted to generate the codes or cover letters, it can also be customized, but only the document can be customized by using administrator portal, that is DriveWorks, not the 3D model. If you wanted to customize a 3D model, you can use the SolidWorks. And if you only wanted to automate the documentation, you can do it without using the SolidWorks. So, as we have discussed, we'll just clarify you what is a capability, how it will convert your order to output. This we have already seen. Once if I were to submit an order, it gets queued onto your server which you have hosted, and autopilot takes on that value and starts generating the desired output which you have specified as a rules, and the outputs delivered as a documents which can land on any specified or designated folder, or it could be a PDM or PLM locations. And as I have said, the DriveWorks has two UI. One is the primary SolidWorks UI, which can be used to create 2D, 3D models and drawings or DX of step file outputs. And the other is a DriveWorks administrator, wherein you can document or automate the overall documentation process. Let me take you a quick example of how a document can be, the process can be automated inside the SolidWorks, and without a SolidWorks, how it can be generated. So over here, I have a SolidWorks here, and inside it, I have a predefined form. It is here where I am gonna automate a conveyor whose length, width, and height can be customized here. So I can specify whatever it is needed. This can be given access by your design department team to generate or generate or automate the model. Once if you click generate model, the DriveWorks starts to run and checks your input, and based upon your input, it creates the desired output. So once the generation is completed, you can release the model so that the DriveWorks autopilot takes the process into an automation. So here I'm just changing it and rerunning it, and you can release the model here as we have discussed. So while releasing it, you can specify it whether model data has to be created and automatic drawing has to be created, and where it has to be stored, that can be customized. So once if you click finish, by default, it doesn't ask for any user input or manual intervention is not needed. By default, it generates the value. And the second UI is the DriveWorks Administrator tab, which is not linked to a SolidWorks, and wherein this can be used by your salesperson or marketing team. This can be used to create new specifications. So whenever a new quotation, or if a customer is going to access a new quotation, or if a marketing team is in need of a new quotation, they can directly access the file, click new specification, and they can input the value that is required for the customers here. So I have created a new specification, entered the value here. The same way how it works inside the SolidWorks, here also this can be directly created to generate. Over here you have we have already discussed that. So the model rules, which is predominantly the major factors that is deriving the overall automation of this models. So here you can see we have captured the part inside the part. We have captured the dimensions here. It is frame length, or it could be a quantity or a description. at any point you can just double click the value and you would be prompted with an rules window wherein you can specify or customize it, whether it has to be at 2 times the value or it has to be multiplied. You can use you can call a value from an Excel table, or it could be an SQL table. So whatever there, you can directly customize it here. It gives you a detailed workflow here. So if I were to apply the rule, what would be the consequence of this rule, and what are the factors that is gonna affect while running this rule. And another advantage is that the main problem in the automation is that we will not be knowing where the problem occurs and how to address the problem. So now, if I were before generating the model, I have a direct DriveWorks HTML option wherein I can check my queries. So whatever the rules I have specified, whether it is working in desired way, or if I'm getting an error at a particular point, if I wanted to find where it goes wrong, we have an interface inside the DriveWorks which can takes you through. It by default runs all the values, and it can gives you. You can also check in step by step, like what it is doing and where the problem is occurring. So with this, finding a problem or finding the root cause of a problem becomes much easier. So once every component has been done, I can directly run here and check for the issues here. So you can see like the drive length value, it is not captured or it is showing error. Once I can directly select the value and I can recapture or change the values here. So that is goes with the DriveWorks administrator. And so finally, why it pays off low? So every product needs a business impact to be positioned. So here we have categorized into 3 teams, like how this could be useful for engineering team, no repetitive remodeling task, fewer specification errors. It could highly avoid the manual errors that is done during the process, and it reduces the time for standardized product, and reusable design rules can be implemented. And in terms of a sales, they can instantly and accurately get the quoting, and we have a self-service configurator. They can directly go open the website, they can enter the value, and they can get the quote instantly, and they can also get the supportive documents, which in turn reduces the sales life cycle, which automatically it gets down. And in terms of operation, the manufacturing data that is required from the design team, once if a sales team has to configure the product, all the document required that goes directly to the destination site where manufacturing can access the product, and which can help faster the order to production time. And as at last, it is a fully configurable auditor trail. You can have a list of what we have done and what the overall workflow it is happening inside the DriveWorks. And I hope this brings us to the end of our presentation. We have shown you an overview of what DriveWorks is and where it can be used. This is one of future more webinars to come. We are planning to do individual webinars on like more in depth of what DriveWorks can be done. You can also reach out to us if you wanted to see a in-person demo, or if you wanted to check the capabilities of the DriveWorks. You can reach out to us.